Gratitude links to attitude. Gratitude links to attitude. The two things are connected. How is it that so many guys do not get this? Why is it that so many people do not understand this? And let me explain what I mean. Everything that you perceive in this world, everything that you take in with your senses, through your sensory perception, is filtered through the neurons and circuits of your brain. And if your brain is used to moving through certain channels, thinking certain ways, adopting certain paradigms and worldviews, everything is going to be filtered through that lens. Everything is going to be filtered through that lens. If you have a positive, optimistic, make it happen type perspective and attitude towards the world, that's the way you're going to see things. You're going to get up in the morning. You're going to be like, what do I need to do today? What do I need to do to get done today? Yeah, things are going to suck. Things are going to be tough, but I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to get through it. But if you are seeing the world through this paradigm of negativity, of rolling out of bed in the morning and saying, oh my God, I'll never get through the day. I can't believe this is happening. Life sucks. Everything's bad. Then everything you do and everything you consume, everything you see, everything you talk about is going to be filtered through that negative fucking lens. And so many guys just don't get this. So many guys just don't get this. Yeah, you're always going to have the normal highs and lows. You're always going to have good days. You're going to have bad days. You're going to be sucking wind on certain days, certain times of your life, and you're going to be riding high on others. And you got to enjoy both the highs and the lows, because the lows are what produce the highs. You need the lows. If there were no lows, you wouldn't have any highs. And this is just what so many guys don't get, because they think that life is this parade of constant comfort. They think that they should just be getting cushions off a conveyor belt, and that they should never experience hardship. They should never experience loss. They should never experience an empty stomach. They should never experience fucking discomfort. And this is why they look the way they do. This is why when you go out and you go to any of these stores in today's urban landscape or whatever, mega stores or even regular stores, you see a bunch of disgusting fat blimps who can't even get out of their own way. You see guys walking around, shoulders hunched over, looking like broke dicks, looking like they're never going to get through the day. They look totally morally defeated. Have you noticed this? Have you seen these people? They look totally fucking defeated. Broke dicks. And unless you want to join the ranks of the nibblicious pudwax, then you need to understand that attitude really, really comes back to showing gratitude. When you say gratitude for what? Gratitude for everything. Gratitude for everything, just for being alive. Every second of every day is a gift. We are put on this earth, and every one of us has a built-in internal clock. And that clock is running backwards towards zero. And when that clock hits zero, you're done. Your mortal life is extinguished. Okay? I'm not going to get into whether the soul persists after death, because that's a whole other different discussion. But your mortal existence is finite. Your mortal existence has an end date. There's every single person has with them from birth a number tattooed on their chest, and that number is the number of days they're going to be alive. For some men or women, the number is big. For some, it's a medium-sized number, and for some, it's very small. We don't know. We don't know what the number is, and this is why we have to show gratitude. Gratitude for everything. Being able to go outside. Being able to walk around in the sun, being able to drive a car, being able to eat a home-cooked meal. These are privileges. These are privileges. And yet, you guys want to go around with your negative, ungrateful attitude, angry about everything, about what you didn't get, about what's not happening, what you want. You look around the world, take a good look around. the world and see what's happening in other places. And then you need to think about reevaluating. Because everything is about perspective. Everything is about attitude. I've seen this over and over and over again in the practice of law, which I've been doing now for in excess of 23 years. And you can always tell the ones that are grateful, that have the right attitude, that are coming from that higher mental state. They're coming from a position of gratefulness. You can tell right away. The minute they step into your office, you can always tell. Because if someone is coming into your office and let's say they're getting a free consultation, the average, a normal, well-balanced person is going to be grateful for that. Okay? But you get two different types of people. Let's say, and the type of, one of the areas of law that I practice in is bankruptcy. Okay? So let's say I'm meeting with someone like the business owners. The business owners are a good example. There's two different types of business owners that I meet with in the world of bankruptcy practice. Type number one is the type that comes in with his arms crossed, arms folded. He's angry. Things are not going his way. His business is not shaping up the way he wanted it to be, and things are starting to go south. It could be from no fault of his own. And frankly, very often it never is. But this is what life is all about. The unexpected always happens. But he comes in with an attitude of anger and defiance, of feeling that he failed. I failed. This sucks. This is bullshit. And if only it had been not for this and this and this and that, I would have been successful. If only it had been not for this. And you have to be polite and you have to listen to people and show them the way. And you have to show them what you can do for them and how you can get them out of their problems. But their attitude is going to be dependent on their level of thankfulness. And if they come from a position of negativity, everything is going to be filtered through that lens. Oh, this sucks. I can't believe I got to go through this. You mean I got to file monthly operating reports? Oh, you mean my business is going to be under the supervision of a trustee? You mean I'm going to have to adjust my budget? Yeah, that's right. You are. That's why it's called bankruptcy. That's what it's there for. This is a way to help you. This is a way to give you a fresh start. This is a way to wipe the slate clean. This is what's going to get you out of the problems. But if somebody is not prepared to listen to that, if somebody's mind is already closed and shut down and calcified to the extent that they are not even willing to listen to you, then there is not much you can do to penetrate that shield. You can show them what you can do. You can explain to them the way it works. But there's a certain percentage of people that they know it all and they don't want to hear it. Then that's type 1. Then there's another type 2, let's say. And they come in and they have a very different perspective. They're like, yeah, things really suck. Our business is going south. Debts are piling up. Things are not working out. Cash flow problems, blah, blah, blah. But we want to try to make it work. We're willing to listen to you. We're willing to put our fate in your hands. We're willing to listen to you and we want to tell us what we need to do to get a fresh start. And those are the people that you really, really enjoy working with because those are the ones that listen. They're coming and approaching the problem from an entirely different perspective. The perspective is one of positivity. How do we solve this problem? How do we get out of it? And guess what? Every single person that I've had, every single person that comes to me with that attitude, let's say it's a Chapter 11 reorganization case, they're always successful. Not because I'm so great and I'm such a fantastic genius, but because their attitude. They have the right attitude. They understand that things are participatory. Life is a participatory exercise. You have to be there. You have to participate. You have to cooperate. You have to disclose. You have to do things. And we don't ask much. But you have to be willing to trust your lawyer. You have to be willing to put your trust in someone else and be willing to get that fresh start, to let that happen. And that's how good things happen. Every single person that's approached me from that perspective has always been a winner, has always won. Because I'm always willing to go that extra mile for my people. I always go that extra mile for my people. I never abandon my people. I never abandon my clients. I never cut them loose. I never do. Never have, never will. I fight for them to the very end. Always. And that's just how I operate. I'm always there for my people. Always. And that's why I'm successful at what I do. Okay? A lot of other lawyers are not like that. Okay? But the bottom line is, no matter what I am, no matter how good I may be, if you are not working with someone who is approaching the problem from the right perspective, things are not going to work out, because attitude is what feeds into gratitude. And the two things are interchangeable. They're basically they're in a constantly reinforcing loop. Attitude and gratitude. Those two things are linked. You see it over and over and over again. And this is what I've just described, this difference in perspective with clients. Ones that come in with anger, they're approaching the situation with an anger perspective, resentment, bitterness. They feel defeat, they feel embarrassed, they feel shame. Look, a little bit of those emotions are natural. That's understandable. I'm not talking about the normal little bit of, angst and grievance. That's no. But when that dominates your whole mentality, then you've got a problem. The ones that come to me with the open mind, with the positive mental state, and there are a lot of people out there like this, bless their souls. For whatever reason, they've been through hell, but yet they still have not lost their humanity. They still have not lost their souls. They still are in possession of their rational thought, their power of rational thought, which enables them to come up with solutions to get out of the problem. And this is what it is. If you're not even willing to listen to someone who's there to meet with you for free, if you're not even willing to do that, or if you're going to try to argue and fight with him or her, then you've got problems and you're not going to be successful. Every single one of those persons that acts that way, they always end up in some sort of liquidation at some point, because they're not willing to turn things around. They're not really willing to do the hard decision making that's necessary in order to save a ship that has taken on water. And things happen in life. No matter how successful you are, or you may think you are, you're always going to have problems. You're always going to run into adversity. You're always going to have catastrophes. And you have to be flexible and amenable to solutions that get you out of these problems. If you approach everything with this negative mindset and negative mental attitude, you're going to be operating at a very, very low-level mental state. And low-level mental states translate into fucking failures. Failure. So improve your attitude. Improve your attitude, and you can start by showing thankfulness. That's how you improve your attitude. Being grateful. Being grateful for everything you've got. Not worrying about what you don't have. Worrying about what you do have. Focusing on what you do have. The very fact that you're alive is a gift. That in itself is a gift. So take that under advisement. All right. Get out there, keep crunching, keep blasting, and we'll talk soon.